the 3.0 CSL was the big surprise at the first event. Did you enjoy driving it? I'm sure you did. Let's go to Maui, where the rest of the playlist will take place.
The BMW 3 Series is the core product of the BMW AG. It's all we are talking about. And the BMW M3 E30 is the peak development of this whole series. If you talk about the sport evolution, it's a very special car. It was much more lighter than the normal BMW M3. It has more horsepower. And it was only available in 2 colors. So these are all aspects which make the car very special.
With the M3, we're touching on an important part of BMW's history, the 3 Series, the face of the brand. So, as you may know, since the early 70s, BMW has been dividing its models into 8 different series. The 3 is without question the most popular of them all. The one you're driving is the E30. It's the second in this prestigious line, and an instant hit in 1982. Not just for car enthusiasts, no, but for the mass market as well. They sold over 2 million. That's huge, especially since they weren't cheap. But this car deserved it. She truly did. For sure, it was the most powerful sedan available at the time. So, when BMW Motorsport needed to put a new car on the track, it was obvious they would create one based on the E30 and make it even better. And that's how we got the first M3 ever. We spoke earlier of the success of the 3.0 CSL, but it was nothing compared to what this car achieved. She's simply the most successful touring car in motorsport history. She has more than 1,400 victories. yeah, I promise you. She won everything. Rallying, endurance racing, but also BMW's most beloved tournaments. The DTM, the German Touring Car Championship. The funny story is that BMW had to build 5,000 street-legal cars and sell them to the public just so they could compete. And they did it. But they were skeptical at first because they thought it would never sell. Of course, they were wrong. They've sold 3 times more than expected. Whatever the model, the E30 has left its mark on a generation. She's loved by underground communities for tuning, for drifting, but you can even see her on album covers and rap videos. She's a cultural phenomenon. see this car taking over the roads of Maui.
Time to continue our journey into BMW's history. This time we're going for a BMW Z. Do you know what the Z stands for? It means Zukunft, future in German. I guess it's BMW's way of promising they'll always keep innovation and experimentation in sight. Here we are. No special words from Mark, but don't worry, Anna has a lot to say about this car.
Let's put aside vehicles designed for extreme racing and enjoy just driving for the pleasure of driving. Well, I mean, you still have an aggressive opponent in this race, of course. Where's the fun without one? BMW Z models are what we call roadsters. Two-seaters made for relaxing behind the wheel, appreciating the scenery and the thrill of speed. And look at that. We just have the perfect spot and the perfect weather to enjoy this ride. The only thing you're missing is the wind in your hair. But you are driving a coupe cabriolet, so I guess you could theoretically enjoy the open air if you wanted to. Car is the Z4 E89, a very cool model for two major reasons. Number one is the very first BMWs have been designed by two women, Juliana Blasi for the exterior and Nadia Arnaut for the interior. They wanted to break the classic roadster image with a car inspired by the human body, athletic and beautiful, designed for all driving enthusiasts. And number two, the E89 has indeed been adapted into a real racing car, the famous, beautiful, and successful Z4 GT3. That's an obvious part of my passion for this car. I own the car you're driving. And did I forget to tell you that? I know what you're thinking. It's not as sporty as the others. And that's true. But on weekends, where I'm far away from the races, it's the perfect car for open roads. 2022, the E89 has indeed been adapted into a real racing car. The famous, beautiful, and successful Z4 GT3. That's an obvious part of my passion for this car. I own the car you're driving. And did I forget to tell you that? I know what you're thinking. It's not as sporty as the others. And that's true. But on weekends, where I'm far away from the races, it's the perfect car for open roads. Her creators described her as an expression of freedom. Would you say the same?
The next event is going to be really different from the previous ones. Motorfest really wanted to show how diverse and surprising BMW can be. I won't say more, except that you'll have to go to the top of the mountain to see the starting grid. And you'll see, the beginning of this race is going to be memorable.
I call a jump. I'm glad you survived that one. Hold on tight. The descent ahead is more dangerous than it looks. It's for these unique moments that we all like to go off-roading from time to time. I gotta admit, it's not where I'm at my best, but I really wanted to get off the beaten track at least once during this playlist. BMW and off-roading have a strong history. They were famous in the Dakar Rally in the 80s, and they've been building bikes designed for the wilderness ever since. Your ride is one of them. It's an R1200 GS. And at BMW, every bike marked with the GS letters is a bike made for adventure. And adventures, they can happen anywhere, you know? On the edge of the unknown or just down the street from your house. so they need to be prepared for every occasion. They're built for both city riders and budding explorers. Look, to be fair, this one's being prepped by Motorfest, so it's a little more suited for the extreme conditions than the ones you could find in a regular shop. But you see what I mean. Great race. You're not doing too bad.
Our next race will be once again focused on BMW M vehicles. Speaking of which, do you know where the famous M colours come from? That combination of blue, purple and red? In the 1970s, BMW Motorsport wanted the American oil company Texaco as one of their sponsors. So, to win them over, they incorporated Texaco's red to the design of their first cars. When the deal was rejected, they decided to improve their livery by adding an extra blue line, the official colour of Bavaria, home of BMW. Then, to complete it, they finally added a purple line in between. And just like that, the BMW M colours came to life. Of course, nowadays, BMW says that the red colour stands for motorsport, not for Texaco. But I'm sure you'll think of it the next time you see the M logo.
BMW's finest, a collection of some of the latest M models. See that white car? That's an M8, a 625 horsepower monster made for everyday use. And the dark gray one over there? An M5 CS. We'll talk about her later, but let's just say that this series has been producing missiles since the 70s and is not about to stop. The other ones are M2s and M4s. They come from series born in 2013 and 2014. Racing them is gonna be tough. The road is narrow with a lot of sharp bends and not many places to accelerate. Overtaking here is a challenge. You have to use the occasional straights with guts and confidence. Clearly my kind of track. A fair chance of winning, we put you behind the wheel of the fastest production car BMW has ever made, the M4 CSL. Yeah, you heard me, a CSL. BMW only made 3 of these in 50 years. The first one was the 3.0 you drove earlier, and this is the third. And to make it even more prestigious, you can even notice a special emblem on her body celebrating BMW M's 50th anniversary. The real question is, does she live up to the CSL legacy? Well, she hits 200 kilometers per hour in only 10 seconds and holds the BMW record on the famous Nürburgring circuit. What more is there to say? You better win with a car like that. Competition, sport, and lightweight. I hope you felt that DNA at every turn.
Race driver. Now let's head to Maui's volcano for the next event. You'll be driving the i8, the first plug-in hybrid sports car to go into series production. It's still as impressive as it was 10 years ago, but I'll let you be the judge of that.
Okay, be careful. This outrun requires your utmost concentration. One mistake or two, and you're sure to lose. Stay sharp. I won't distract you too much, but I still gotta talk about that spaceship you're driving. Yeah, I'm sorry to call it that, but I'm sure you were thinking the same thing. And hey, I don't mean it in a bad way. I love the way she looks. The BMW i8 is a car that stands out from the crowds. It's actually hard to believe she's indeed a production car and not just a concept. Like, it's crazy how futuristic she looks, even though she was revealed more than 10 years ago. The contrast of her colors highlights all her curves. And there's something about the way she's shaped that makes her intriguing and elegant at the same time. I'm glad the sun hasn't fully risen yet, because I find her even more beautiful at night. Those U-shaped taillights give her so much personality. What's the story behind that car? Well, it all goes back to the early 2010s when BMW I was created to develop a range of electric and hybrid vehicles within the brand. Only two models came out of it, the compact i3 and the i8, the sports car you're driving. Because they updated their strategy. Rather than creating a separate lineup, they now implement their technologies into their main series. A smart move, I guess. But I would have loved to see more cars like this one. Wouldn't outrun you.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm afraid we're heading towards the last event of this playlist. Yes, I know, already. But we're not going to say goodbye without one last hooray. This final race, you'll be driving not one, but 3 of BMW's finest vehicles. And I hope you've got some time to spare, because this isn't going to be a short trip.
BMW M is a sort of brand shaper for the whole BMW AG, because the image and the reputation BMW M has created is always related to sportiness and to peak performance. One of the hugest separations between maybe other manufacturers is the fact that a BMW is always sporty. The customer expects a sort of sportiness. He wants to drive it, he wants to feel the passion behind the wheel. And this is BMW.
Perfect for going on a long road trip. We're putting 3 BMW MCS to the test over very long distances, and it's your job to drive them one after the other. You remember what CS means? It's competition sport, the sportiest editions of BMW M. As you can see, we didn't even bother to close the roads, so you'll have to deal with the traffic. But you have no trouble dodging it, right? wasn't an easy start, but you managed it like a pro. You've probably recognized the car you're driving. It's the M5 F90 CS, the one you went up against a bit earlier. The 5 Series is the oldest in the history of BMW. Not the oldest car, of course, but the first series they launched when they started this classification in the 70s. It's just crazy how much power there is in a car like that. She weighs almost 2 tons, and she's over 5 meters long. And in spite of that, she has 635 horsepower and can reach 100 kilometers per hour in only 3 seconds. For a sedan? Wow. Like, imagine taking your kids to school with this. The temptation to step on the gas is way too strong. She might be too dangerous for your own good. However, her design is, well, let's just say it's not my favorite, but I see why people love it. It's just not sporty enough for my taste. But I must admit, I love the golden bronze color they added to the rims and front grille. That's her signature. It's so cool. We have an M3 G80 CS from 2023. We've come a long way since the E30. Don't you think it looks a lot like the M4 CSL? On the front end, mostly. Well, that's normal. Actually, the 3 and 4 series share the same engine and chassis base. Before 2014, the 3 Series models were released in a large number of variations. Like, too many variations. So, ultimately, they decided to make things clearer. On the one side, there's the 3 Series with sedans and stick cars, and on the other, the 4 Series with coupes and cabriolets. And that's the main difference between the two. About her design. Personally, I love how aggressive she looks. The size of the double kidney grille divides BMW fans, but I think it gives her so much character. M2 G87 CS from 2025. And you can try her here exclusively for the first time. BMW are so proud of her that they regard her as part of the BMW 2002 Turbo Heritage, announced one of the most beloved cars of the 70s. So, does she deserve this honorific comparison? I'll let you drive her for a bit, before giving my opinion. Can go. She's obviously the fastest M2 ever. But what I love most about her is her uncompromising design. People will be divided just like the M3 and M4, but I'm a fan. I mean, look at this. It's her production form, and it already looks like a professional tuner has fitted her with one of the coolest kits around. Probably too soon to say, but I think she's my fave. Among the three of them, of course. I think it's simply more fun to drive. BMW M2 CS, a legend in the making.
You've yet to claim your reward, driver. Congratulations, driver. You just completed the BMW playlist. It's time for you to get your reward. Let's get back to the container. Call me when you need me. If you care for the drive and are not in the mood for using fast travel, let me tell you a few things about that reward. It's a car you already know very well, the Batmobile. No, I don't mean the one from the movies. I'm talking about the 3.0 CSL. That was its nickname in the 70s. It was called that because of its aerodynamic spoiler. And a little fun fact, that spoiler was also featured in the street-legal version of the car. But to be allowed to sell it in Germany, BMW had to deliver it in the trunk. The customers had to mount it themselves. I can't wait to see you explore Hawaii in this historic car. Let's roll towards a new playlist journey. Good choice. Ready to go? New challenges unlocked. Speak to you soon, driver.